Hey guys, welcome back to my Honey Sweets. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. I wanted to come and talk to you guys today about white on white colorism. It does exist. White on white bias and preference and discrimination. It does exist. And what made me decide to make this video is because I was watching another video about his name is Troyce TV, Troyce TV. He was doing a video about colorism within the black community and how we ourselves, due to white supremacy ideology and slavery, have adopted those colorist views and use it against each other, practice discrimination based on color against each other, and have so-called preferences, feeling that the lighter a black person is, the more superior they are, whether it's them being more feminine, more gentle, more educated, more attractive than those who would have a brown or dark brown skin tone. And then he brought up a statement saying that you never hear white people having colorist views or discriminating or having biases within their own race and stuff like that. And that actually is not true, and that's why I wanted to come and make this video to you guys today. There are actually multiple shades of whiteness, white skin, just like you have multiple shades of brown in the black community, and just like you have like that differentiation in, like, let's say the Latino community, where they despise other Latino groups for some reason, and look down on them, such as, like, let's say Salvadorian, Argentinian, Mexican, Dominican, how they feel there is a difference within them in a hierarchy. Whites also have that same thing. Whites fall victim to their own white supremacy and European beauty superiority standards. And I wanted to come and point those things out to you. So what I'm first going to do is show you some of the different skin tones that they actually have. I do not know the name for all of their skin tones, but I do know a few. Like, they have a porcelain skin tone, they have a alabaster skin tone, they have an olive skin tone, and these are all different shades of what you would classify as white porcelain, being like the lightest. And I can't actually say what the darker one would be, but let's take it down to like tan. Yeah, let's take it down to like a tan or beige skin complexion, because whites do not all have just the same skin tone and they're all white. No. So in white supremacy culture, they do bow down and have a hierarchy, a pecking order of what's considered the creme de la creme versus what's considered the trash, the garbage, the loose pickings. And they in themselves do sit and have preference, where they are saying, oh, I want to mate with this person because he has blonde hair, blue eyes, porcelain skin. Oh, I want to be with this person because they do have an almond shaped eye versus what would be another shaped eye, I don't know. They do, it is certain races of white people who do have broader noses than just a narrow nose, which is why you have white people also going to go get nose jobs who get slimmer noses, because they do not themselves fit the prototype of what is considered European beauty, what is considered to be the best aesthetics. So I wanted to point that out and show you some of these different pigments, which I'm hoping that they will pick up, and share with you some other things. Because, like, let's say a Swedish person, or like a person from Denmark and stuff, would be considered the best of the best, basically, like perfect whiteness, porcelain skin, narrow nose, thin lips, almond eyes, blonde hair, almond shaped eyes, blue colored eyes with blonde hair, thin, slim body build, and stuff like that. Because you do have some white ethnicities or races, whatever you want to call it, who do have broader noses and a bigger lip than what other ones have. They do have different textures of hair, from being bone straight to let's say a little crinkled or curled, and like they do have different textures of hair and all that. And they do perform forms of discrimination and preference on each other. Now, let me show you the skin colors before I get into all the rest. I don't know all of these skin colors, I'm gonna be honest with you. I actually just end up learning and picking up on a few different things just throughout life, different stuff that I happen to stumble upon in reading or hearing or watching or researching and stuff like that. But I'm hoping that these will pick up on it for you. But these are different shades of white skin. Oh, let's see. Oh, like this one, it will be considered porcelain skin. I tried to find one that did not have like really makeup. I didn't really want a picture of her face, but for porcelain skin, this is the only thing that came up that I could really show you on. But this is considered porcelain skin. Is considered to be the best of the best, considered by white people to be the best of the best. Then you have those different shades of skin. These different shades of white skin. I do not know the name of all of them. Sorry, but that's it. They do not all have the same skin complexion. They do treat each other differently based off of it. So one of the things that I wanted to let you know is, let's say for example, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, narrow-nosed, slim build, thin-lipped person was trying to get a job or was even on a dating site, and the other person across from them was a brunette, or let's say a redhead, or let's say a strawberry blonde with green eyes, and the other one has porcelain skin. They have, let's say, the alabaster skin, and they're an average healthy weight, whether male or female, and let's say about 135-40 pounds. A white person is the one who has to either give them the job or the one who wants to date them. They are going to prefer and liken the porcelain blonde hair, blue eye to be better. That's the one who they're going to procreate with. That's the one who they want to show off and sit on their arm. That's the person that's the one who they're going to feel is the best, and it's all based off those aesthetics of white supremacy. And you have heard it talked about, just not sure if you paid attention to it, because of course they not going to totally come out and just be like, oh well yeah, through white society, white supremacy, because then they have to admit that there is white supremacy. Oh my God, I don't fit the mold because I'm not blonde hair, blue eye from Denmark, I'm not Swedish, I'm not German, so I'm not treated as well. They probably don't come and say that, because if they in themselves within the white system of supremacy that they don't even fit the mold to come and attack it like that, well then that will cause them to lose their privileges and favor even over other minorities. So I believe that's why a lot of them either try to fit the mold or they just keep quiet about it. But even they in themselves treat each other less than, or treat others better than, based off colorism, based off physical features of what they deem to be better. They go get nose jobs, they go dye their hair blonde, male or female, they starve themselves trying to be as skinny as possible and things like that. It didn't switch over until maybe I'll say like the last 30 years, 40 years, where more whites began to try and take on a more black aesthetic, right? To where they said, no, we want to get surgery to fill our lips. We want to get surgery to be a little bit more shapely. That is not what their prototype is, and they themselves fall victim to that not being the prototype. They look down on each other in whiteness. I think I already stated, like the Swedish, the German and stuff, like they look down on the French, the English, even though these are other whites. They still feel they are not as good or do not fit white supremacist ideas of what would be superior. So that's all I wanted to come and share with you guys. And you have had actresses and actors come out and even state this, that they aren't paid as well, they aren't given as much or pampered as much when they are sitting competing against someone else that is white, but that has what they deem to be the superior white, which is blonde hair, blue eyes, bony, narrow nose, and stuff like that. So that's all I want to say. They fall victim to their own white supremacy. There is colorism within whiteness. They do have biases towards each other, and They do know what order that falls into, and they try to get that. Like if you, a lot of film directors and stuff like that in Hollywood, they say themselves, well, I didn't look good enough to be in front of the screen. They gave the role to the white man who had more of the European beauty standard look. It went to him versus the brunette man who had an average weight, who didn't have a chiseled jaw, thin lips, and who don't have that look or whatever. And same with the white women. So they like, oh, well, I couldn't be in front of the camera because I don't fit this look. I had to be behind the camera. Or those women tell you, oh, I had to go and lose weight. I had to dye my hair blonde. That's why you see, that's what's depicted. Like, just think about representation. True enough, compared to blacks or other minorities, we don't get proper representation, and whites are showcased. And you might be looking at it, since they're all just white, it's all the same, and only we're being affected by that imagery. But that's not true. Whites in themselves are being also affected by their own imagery that they portray out to the world. There are white boys and girls looking at them same movies of their own race of people who have a different different skin pigmentation than them, a lighter skin pigmentation than them, that have a more narrow nose, that have the blonde hair, blue eyes, and looking at it saying, wow, that's what I wish I was, looked like, or could be, and feeling inferior based off that. Because even to white supremacy, even to its own people, are telling them that they aren't good enough within their own whiteness, although they give them privilege, and also at the same time make them feel as if they are superior to everyone else. But they in themselves suffer from the bias and preference of white supremacy. And that's all I wanted to come share with you guys. If you have ideas or of content that's been out, interviews that have been stated and stuff, where you can show where they do have this colorism and ideology against themselves, then please share it in the comments. But it does exist. Maybe since it's not our culture, we're not picking it up or paying attention to it. But white girls and boys will tell you that they in themselves feel inferior to the images being broadcasted to them, that is telling them that this form of white is better than even their form of whiteness, that their ethnicity tribe is not as good as this ethnicity or tribe. They literally do look at other white tribes in certain places in Europe as being less than them, as being trashed, and they literally do try and bow to the ones who don't fit it, try to bow to, resemble, assimilate to those ones, and cater to those ones who do fit what they have been told is the better aesthetic and better ethnicity than other forms of whiteness. Thank you for checking this out. Have a great day.